Hey guys, it's Naomi. It's been a while. I think the last video that I filmed was actually the one in which I dyed my hair quite a while ago now. It's faded quite a bit. I need to re-dye it, but loving that still. Anyways, today's video, as you can see by the books behind me, is book-oriented, and I especially want to talk about the worldwide read-along that's happening right now. If you follow Philip Pullman on Facebook, that's how I found out about this, you will have seen that there is a worldwide read-along for the Golden Compass, also known as Northern Lights. It started yesterday, and this is happening because a lot of people are excited and anticipating the new release called The Book of Dust, which is going to be released in October, which is not necessarily a continuation of his Dark Materials, but as Philip Pullman described it in an interview, not a prequel or a sequel, but a sort of parallel. So he's writing another trilogy, which I'm just so thrilled about because I bought the boxed set of his Dark Materials, I think about 16 years ago. And that makes me feel really old. But anyway, I have been waiting a really long time for more from this world, and some of our favorite characters will be in it, but it follows some different characters too. It runs kind of parallel along the timeline of these books. So it starts when Lyra is just a baby, and then by the end of the trilogy, I think he said in the interview that she will be an adult. So, but it's not following the exact same story, but the same story is going on at the same time as this new story, if that makes any sense. I still just love the cover from this. I don't ever buy, what are these called? Mass market paperback sizes anymore, but when I was younger I didn't know any better, and they have that really old book smell, you know what I'm talking about, and it just smells so comforting and good, and not like dusty, but yeah, kind of dusty in a way. Dusty in a good way. The trilogy, if you're not familiar with it, starts with The Golden Compass, and I think was published as Northern Lights in the UK, I want to say. The Subtle Knife is the second book, and the third is The Amber Spyglass. This one has a little hidden cover from this treasured box set. I kind of want to start collecting other editions of these because there's been a lot of other beautiful editions that have been published over the years, and I think they're probably going to be coming out with new ones now that he's got some new stuff coming out. But anyways, I just wanted to let you guys know in case you weren't aware and maybe you're a Philip Pullman fan and you want to read along with everyone else. I think this is a great time, a couple of months ahead of time, to reread the trilogy in preparation for The Book of Dust. I'm so excited about the release. I don't want to say too much yet, but I am planning something really special for Unicorn Crate in October having to do with this. So I thought this video would also be a good opportunity to talk about a couple of other books that I've been wanting to mention. About, I don't know, 6 weeks ago or so, whenever Mother's Day was, I was back home in New Hampshire visiting my family for Mother's Day and went through some of my old things that were still in boxes, and I found a bunch of my old books from when I was in, you know, elementary and middle school, some of my most treasured reads, and since these were some of my most treasured reads in high school, I thought I'd go back a little bit even further and just share with you guys some of things that I found, and maybe this will conjure up some memories for you, or maybe you'll find something that you hadn't read before, but that you should. First, I'm sure everyone's read this, is A Wrinkle in Time. I remember loving this. I think I read this twice, and I found all these others that I remember buying these from the bookstore back then, but I don't think I ever actually read them. So a lot of people know about A Wrinkle in Time, but aren't familiar with the other ones in this series. So there is A Wind in the Door. These covers are so cool. I especially love this one, A Swiftly Tilting Planet with a fiery unicorn. I have no idea what these ones are about, and so I think I'm just gonna reread A Wrinkle in Time and just continue on with the series, because why not? I think these are overlooked treasures from my old shelf. And then this one, An Acceptable Time. And aren't these just, these are so gorgeous. These were printed a long time ago. I think I got these maybe late middle school, early high school. So they probably don't print this exact kind. And again, these are the mass market paperback size, which I don't really like, but that's okay. Going back a little further, I think I read these in around 5th or 6th grade. I picked these up at like a book fair one time, and this is a trilogy by Tanith Lee, one of my favorite fantasy authors from a long time ago. She's still writing stuff today. She's written a ton of things, but the Red Unicorn, the Gold Unicorn, and I guess the first one is called the Black Unicorn, but I can't find it anywhere. And then I was starting to think, maybe I never even read that one. So I kind of want to reread these too, because why not? Unicorns. This one I read I think in 4th or 5th grade, so going even further back. Let me know if anyone else has read this one. This is Mandy by Julie Edwards. Now, let me say something about the name. I never realized until now, a long time later, decades later, that this is actually written by Julie Andrews Edwards. Julie Andrews as in Sound of Music, that woman. One of my favorite actresses. So she actually wrote this book and a couple of others, and I never knew. This was one of my absolute favorites when I was a little girl, and I just realized now, decades later, pulling this out of the old boxes, that that's who wrote it. I can't believe that I never knew. This book had a huge effect on me, I think. This has to do with a young girl who lives in an orphanage. This is just what I remember, you know, years and years and years and years later. But just reading the back again briefly, she escapes one day, like through the orchard and over the wall, and finds this old abandoned cottage. She escapes all the time from the orphanage to go and like slowly fix up this cottage and make it a place of her own. And I just remember the sense of like, I really wanted the same thing, and I didn't grow up in a bad home. I loved my home growing up for the most part, you know, as much as any kid can. But this just really had a lasting effect on me, on wanting to like be an independent person and create a space of my own, having to, I think I related a lot because I'm the type of person that needs a lot of alone time too, and like a space to, that's really like mine, you know, to inhabit. And I'm rambling now, but this book had a really big effect on me, and Julie freaking Andrews wrote it. Yet another book from a series that I started but didn't finish, but that I kind of want to go back and reread now, just for fun. These would be super quick reads now. I think this one goes back to 3rd grade, I want to say, that I read this in 3rd grade, maybe? Into the Land of the Unicorns. Such a cool cover, and I just loved this book. I still remember parts of it and characters from it to this day, and I would love to collect all they're out of print now, I think, so I would love to go and collect all the other ones. I think there's maybe 3 more in this little series by Bruce Coville. I remember one of our assignments when I was in 3rd grade, or whenever I read this, was to write a note to an author and actually send it. And so I wrote to Bruce Coville, and he wrote back. I wish I still had that. You know, it's probably long gone. It's probably really lost by now. But I just think that's so cool that I did that as a little kid, and, you know, the author wrote back. I took the time, and yeah, it makes me want to finish the series all this time later. And then, of course, I can't be involved with, you know, the whole unicorn crate thing without mentioning The Last Unicorn. I first read this in 4th grade, I believe, which was honestly a little bit young. A lot of it kind of went over my head, and now that I look at it now, I'm like, oh, it's actually not that dense. But at that time, I don't know, it seemed kind of, I think the story was slow burn. And I would like to revisit this one too. This is the 40th anniversary edition. It's really pretty. I think there's been so many editions of this one printed too, and this would be a fun one as a unicorn obsessed person to collect some different versions of this one too. So that is all for this video. I would love to know in the comments below if you read any of these, or if these have piqued your interest in any way, or maybe some books that you remember from your childhood that really had an impact on you, or that you just really loved and would love to give a reread of. And then of course let me know if you're going to do the worldwide read-along. I'm taking part. Of course, I'm filming this the day after it started, so I have already started in on get these out of here again. I've already started in on reading The Golden Compass again, and immediately I just like sank right back into it like a comforting old friend. And again, I think I first read these when I was 15 or 16, and I am now 31. 31. It's been a while, so I am reading it kind of with a fresh set of eyes. I feel like I have lived many years since then and sort of have a new perspective, and yet it is, you know, returning to the same lovely story that I remember. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you subscribe if you want to see more videos about books and sometimes beauty. I haven't been posting a lot lately. I know I'm trying to get, you know, a couple videos a month posted, but lately I've been working around 70 hours a week, so yes. Anyway, subscribe if you want to see whenever I next upload. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in another video soon. Bye!